Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call to order this November meeting of the Board of Water Commissioners, and we will begin by calling the roll.
Chairperson Einhauser,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Blackman, Commissioner Davis, Commissioner Garcia, Commissioner Kinlock. Commissioner Forte is not here at the moment, but she does plan to join us, but we do have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Item 3 is the approval of the agenda, and before you consider that, I'd like to make a motion, or I guess I can just do it here. We want to add the approval of the collective bargaining agreement with the Teamsters in item 10N. And with that change, is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
All right, moved and seconded. Discussion, other suggestions, changes? Hearing none, all those in favor of the adoption of the agenda as amended, please say aye. Any opposed? Then that is so ordered. Next, item 4 is the approval of the minutes of October the 15th, 2025. Is there a motion?
Previous meeting minutes with any necessary corrections.
Support. By Commissioner Kinlock, supported by a couple of people. Any corrections to the minutes as presented? Hearing none, those in favor, please say aye. And that's approved unanimously. Next, we come to public comments. Mr. Peckinpah?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Brian Peckinpah, Public Affairs Director for DWSD. I'll give the comment instructions. To make a comment, if you are in person, please sign the sign-in sheet. Your name will be called and you can proceed to the microphone. If you are online, please raise your hand now by using the raise hand icon on your desktop or mobile device. If you are calling into the meeting by phone, press *9 to raise your hand. If you are online using the Zoom app or on the phone, after your name is called, you will get permission to unmute. And in order to begin speaking, you will have to unmute yourself. To do so, press the unmute button, which is the microphone icon if you're online or on the app, or *6 if you are calling in. At the beginning of your comment, please share your full name and the community or neighborhood you live, work in, or are representing. The timer will start after your introduction. You will have a limit of 3 minutes to make your comment, and please keep your comments to public comment. This is not an opportunity or a forum to request information or data, which can be done through the city website and Legistar. If you're online and make a comment, please use the comment card link we're sharing in the chat. You will only be called upon once. Once the chair closes public comment, there will be no other comments from the public, and all attendees will remain muted for the duration of the meeting. On-site comments will go first, followed by online and on the phone. And Mr. Chair, it doesn't appear that we have anyone in person to make a comment. These are Oh, thank you. We do have one person, Beulah Walker.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can I be heard? Hi, everybody. Y'all look good. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Beulah Walker. What was the question? Organization? Hydrate Detroit and community leader. My issue here today, I have 2 issues. Number 1, with our new what's wrong, sweetie? With our new coming mayor, what are we gonna do as far as having a director? Is Brown and Smalley gonna stay or gonna go? I hope not. We have our political differences, but I don't have time to be getting used to nobody else. So I'm just telling you, no, seriously, I have my issues with Director Brown and Deputy Director Smalley, but I'm telling you, I do not have time to get used to somebody else. But if I have to, I will. Number 2, we still have flooding here in the city of Detroit. We have issues that are arising that don't seem to stop. And my concern is that every claimant that files a claim here with DWSD should be financially compensated. I'm not sure what rule or what law it is, public policies, whatever policies is out there, because I'm not an attorney, but no one should be flooded out of their home and then just say it's nothing that we can do about it because we have immunity. Just because this organization has immunity don't mean you flood people 75, 80, and 90 out of their homes. If you lose your home, that is all you have. We can agree to disagree, but if you lose your home, anybody in here lose their home, their apartment, their box, they buggy, that is all you have. And that's all I have to say. And I'm gonna sit down and wait for answers. Thank you.
You, Ms. Walker.
Mr. Chair, she was the only person in the public comment that's in person. There are several hands raised online, and the first one is Cecily McClellan. Cecily McClellan.
Thank you very much, Cecily McClellan, we the people of Detroit. I'm calling to express ongoing concern about the availability of an assistance program. We continue to get calls, and many of the callers are persons that are enrolled in Easy Pay and are having difficulty, if not, have already violated or not been able to keep up with their payments. And so they're looking for relief. But as we recognize with the new program, there is no arrearage to be considered. I think this is a major deficit of the program, and I've shared that because basically most of the persons that are calling, they're calling as a result of having an arrearage. And even the residents that were formerly in the Detroit Lifeline program have arrearage now, with the program being defunct pretty much over 2 months, they have accumulated arrearages. But I also have some confusion about how the program is being administered. I mean, we see that there is a web page and it's online that you can process an application. It appears that the application is being processed through DWSD. I just want to know whether or not DWSD is actually doing income eligibility criteria besides just looking at whether or not a individual is eligible for SNAP or LIHEAP or has a Medicaid card. Those programs are below and probably around 135% of poverty. This program goes up to 200% of poverty. So there will be a need for somebody to do income eligibility. Now, it's our understanding, we had the impression that Promise Network was being considered to do the income eligibility. If that's the case, we would really like to know that, because we know the history of the Promise Network is a debt collector. So we'd like to know exactly how this program is going to operate. When will it officially open up? Are applications now being taken online? And are those persons able to currently enroll in the program and begin to take advantage of the 34 a month payment plan? Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, the next person is Gwendolyn Howard. Gwendolyn Howard.
Pollock? Howell,
Good
thank you. Ms. Howell?
Ms. Howard.
Ms. Howard.
Indeed. Good afternoon. Thank you for taking my call. Gwen Howard here with We the People of Detroit, Water Peace Division. Not to be repetitious on what my coworker said, I'm still concerned about all of those. But then again, what happened to the people that were left in this program? Again, a Lifeline H2O, did they get automatically rolled over? If not, what happened to them? Because looking at your dashboard, there was no numbers or no anything to even question what happened to them. So I guess that's one question. And the other is that it's definitely becoming a situation with our customers that they're so concerned because winter is coming. Their bills have risen high from GTE as well as DWSD. So the concern is what's really happening with the water assistance program that you have or that you're addressing. Change the name to Lifeline 2.0. We're just concerned because we're getting a lot of calls and things are changing and their bills are changing. And one lady went from your $18 program up to like a $260 bill in less than a month and a half, and she doesn't understand why. So we're addressing that and having her give a call to your hotline to see if she can get some assistance through that. She is signed up for the Easy Pay program, she said, but the concern is that her next bill might actually be a shutoff. And if so, are you sending out shutoff notices since October ended this program. And again, who's going to administer it? We're still concerned about the Promise Network and the Promise Pay that you said would be evaluated. I remember in a meeting prior to when he said that you guys were going to do some evaluating as DWSD, not you personally, but within the agency itself. Is that still true? And again, as Ms. Walker said, I'll wait for some answers. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Ms. Howard.
Mr. Chair, the next person is Detroit resident. There's no name. Detroit resident.
Hello.
Hello, can you tell us your name, please?
Yes, my name is Eric Hensley. I reside in Hubbard Farms. My address is 3928 Porter Street, and I am calling to ask that the board make an inquiry into why the lead service lines have not been replaced in this neighborhood. I spoke with Matthew Phillips and Sonali Patel in March of last year. They told me that the city has 18 years to replace them, and they left it at that. I asked Ms. Patel how the neighborhoods were chosen, what were the parameters, what were the definitions in which qualifications and placement on the schedule occurred, because our neighborhood was not even on the schedule. My house started being built in 1800s, the late 1800s. It was finished in 1900. My house is about to be 126 years old. It has the original lead service lines. I do not have the money to pay for this. Not to mention, this is an amenity that was being covered. And I had asked Ms. Patel in March if she could provide me that information of how neighborhoods were selected, what was the criteria. With everything that's going on around our neighborhood, I assumed that information would have been readily handy. I've waited 20 months for that information, never received it. And I'm really asking the board to look into and consider changing these lines. We are in a historic neighborhood. There seems to be a lot of attention to the type of windows, the type of paint you can put on your front door. Can you do this? What kind of tree you can have? But nobody's really concerned about the toxic water that's coming into the homes. My home has been replaced with PEX lines, and I still have a very high lead count of water in my home. Why this neighborhood, being one of the oldest neighborhoods in Detroit, has not been assessed or not been changed in terms of the lead service lines, I really don't know. But I would hope that someone could look into this matter and find out when and why it has not happened, and when and how and if it's going to be put on the schedule. Telling me wait 18 years and find out where you're at is an unacceptable answer from Mr. Phillips and Ms. Patel. So therefore, I felt there's plenty enough time to get back to me, and I wanted to bring this to the board's attention to please make an inquiry into getting these service lines replaced or some type of information other than you have to wait 18 years. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to hear from Director Brown.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Chair. As the board knows, we have approximately 80,000 lead service lines in the city of Detroit. We have another 20,000 that we don't know what they are, so they could very well be lead or not. So let's just use the number 100,000 lead service lines. And last year, the Biden administration made sure we had $100 million to deal with lead service lines. And so we went into the neighborhoods that were economically depressed and had a lot of kids. That was the criteria. Low income kids, and also the testing of the lines and having a high lead content. And so we obviously could not do the complete city. My house, where I have lived for the last 35 years, has a 1.5-inch lead service line. It is not being replaced by DWSD because we are not economically within the guidelines, and we don't have very many kids in the house. And so we're going to begin the lead service line program again in March. I suspect that we'll be able to do somewhere near 3,300 lines. And again, we will put a map on our website of the areas that we're going to work in. We're going to be looking at density of population in those neighborhoods where there are a lot of lines, where they're economically depressed, as well as there are a lot of kids in those neighborhoods. And we look at the schools in those neighborhoods to decide where we're going to start working. So stay tuned in March when the program starts up. This is a $100 million a year that we cannot pass on to ratepayers. And so we're going to do a minimum of 3,300 lines. Even that's $30 million, $30+ million. So it's a lot of money. And we're sorry that we can't get to every neighborhood at the same time. And it is going to be an 18-year program. And we'll put something on our website that shows the neighborhoods we're going to next, so that, people can make a decision on whether or not they want to replace their own line, because they can't wait for DWSD to get there. But that's just the honest truth about how the program is operating. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Director.
Mr. Chair, next we have Norel Hemphill.
Ms. Hemphill.
Peace
Ms.
and
Hemphill,
blessings.
are you here?
May I be heard?
Good afternoon.
Peace and blessings. Good afternoon. Attorney Norel Hemphill. I am the Legal and Public Policy Manager at We the People of Detroit. And I wanted to lift a few things. Number one, I do have concerns about the Lifeline H2O program. I know as of today, we have not, there has been no process shared with the residents of Detroit, and residents have been without a plan since October 1st. So we are very gravely concerned with those residents who were previously experiencing an $18 bill, who will now see their bill almost doubled at $34, who are now having to deal with a regular water bill. As a previous caller said, Ms. McClellan and also Ms. Howard, we have been receiving calls and concerns from residents in the city, so we do lift those. I did see in the presentation today that there is updates to the Lifeline H2O program, where you have shared that there was a notice sent out to residents. We would like to know when was this flyer sent? And it's very good to see that the website is live. Also, will there be in-person opportunities for residents to apply? We know not everybody has access to a cell phone or computer, and I'm glad that you do have the hotline. With that hotline, can you please share how those folks are trained, so that residents are able to get high quality care on that hotline? And then finally, I'm so glad that you all are doing categorical enrollment, like the SNAP and other low-income programs. That makes a lot of sense and makes the process much easier for our residents. One question about funding. Have we secured any other funds, and have those GLEWA RAP dollars actually been allocated to the city yet? And then finally, while this is a great program for now, and it's good that we have water assistance, of course, we do need long-term water affordability, ensuring that every resident has continuous access to clean, safe, and affordable water. We know people need water to live. And as we talk about Detroit, this whole revitalization and thriving movement of Detroit, water is critical to the success of our city and to the actual very lives of our residents. So I'm asking that you all support the Affordable Water Now package in the House that is led by Representative Emily Devendorf. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hemphill. Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Brown.
Yeah. Because we are going to have a presentation, and I don't want to upstage that, but I just want to just set the tone for the presentation. As we all know, the program restarts every October 1st, where if you were in Lifeline, you have to recertify, show your income and number of people that are in the home, basically. You have to recertify every October 1st. So we also understand that we only have $3.5 million to work with. That's what we're getting from GLEWA, the RAP dollars, the $3.5 million. And by the way, they don't come to the city or come to DWSD. They have to go to a third-party nonprofit by GLEWA's policy. But we do have access to the $3.5 million. We do know that $3.5 million, based on the restructuring of Lifeline, meaning we raised the level of payment for the customer from $18 to $34. We're not going to have the dollars to pay off the arrears, and we're not going to have the dollars to go in and do home repairs. But we can offer 5,000 residents a $34 bill, not $18, $34. Still way below the $88 average. And so we know who the 8,000 people were that were in Lifeline. We sent 8,000 customers that were in Lifeline a letter and said, we are now ready to recertify. And we're able to turn that recertification process around in 24 hours. And so we already have several hundred of those customers that received the letter and have applied and have been recertified and will shortly be getting their $34 bill. But this is my point. If we, the people of Detroit, wants to give advice to our customers, then the advice should be get into Easy Pay. Because we sent out 8,000 letters. We only have money for 5,000 households. We're going to fill that program up in the next 2 weeks. And so there's no need to have an application process for new people to come into the program. There's no money. We would just be building a list of people, and we're already going to have 3,000 that we weren't able to service that were in Lifeline last year. So again, we're working every day with Lansing, trying to get additional dollars to add more people to the program. Once we've secured additional dollars, we will open up the application process for new applicants. But it does not make sense to do that at this point because there's not enough funding. So we'll have a presentation shortly in our meeting that goes through the Lifeline 2.0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, the last person is D'Amico Williams.
Mr. Williams.
Yes, hi, Commissioner Eisenhower. Long time no see, man. How you been?
Been all right, but thank you for your concern.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say hello and glad you're doing good. I was concerned about you. D'Amico Williams, Chief Executive Director of Hydrate Detroit. I am very grieved of what I just heard. Mr. Brown, you just said a while ago that we had $11 million in the pot to cover Lifeline residents for the next year. Now you're telling us there's literally no monies. Then you said you're waiting on the $3.5 million allocation from RAP. When is that coming? What about the United Way and other partners? The mayor raised money in the first half of 2014 with the corporate donors and funneled it through United Way. Why can't we have that happen? Why do we have to rely on federal and state rates if we know they're not coming? Why are you telling us that these residents that have been faithfully paying their $18 water bill cannot be serviced for the next year, and the 5,000 of them are not going to be covered? What's going on here? I'm just trying to understand. You can't make empty promises and not keep them when we keep continuously asking questions, so that when we talk to our clients and consumers, we can let them know the real deal, because I've been getting calls myself and I'm just very frustrated and disappointed. I feel like a fool. literally promoting a program that we knew didn't have no money, that I said long time ago that it wasn't going to work because there wasn't a secure long-term funding plan behind it. It's really getting out of control, Mr. Brown. You need to fix this. You need to fix it. And we're not kicking cans down the road. We're not criticizing you. We're actually trying to help you, and you keep blocking and eluding us. It's really starting to be problemsome. And I'm still going to continue to ask questions of why Robert Davis was given information from this water department for a political vendetta against one of the mayoral candidates. Yes, it was unethical. And this water department delay, stall until you get old or die. They could have blocked that information due to HIPAA, and Robert Davis wasn't a cop. He wasn't the law, and it wasn't the courts. And there was no settlement that could have allowed you to release information about one church versus the other. Now, I don't advocate for big churches as such, but I do know that's the church I go to. I attend Triumph Church. So I just want to get Attorney Scott on the record to explain what happened here. And how could you give information to a citizen where you block information from us when we're asking for FOIA information about shutoff numbers? That's all I'm trying to get through here. Thank you for taking my comment. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Williams. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board? No. All right, then we will close public participation and let's move to item 6, A and B. Let's consider these separately. So is there a motion regarding receipt of correspondence as attached in item 6A? Is there a motion to receive and file? All right, Commissioner Davis, supported by Commissioner Blackman. Would any board members like to make any inquiries about any of these items of correspondence? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of receiving and filing, please say aye. And that's unanimous. And I want to indicate Commissioner Forte is here. Good to see you. Next, item B, the correspondence concerns a bid protest. And I'd like to call on Jonathan Domers. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
It's Demers. Thank you.
Jonathan comes to us from Corporation Counsel, and we're glad you're here.
A pleasure to be here. It's good to see you all this afternoon on this frigid and very cold afternoon in particular. So I'll try not to chatter my way through this explanation, but this does require some context for the board as it involves also a prior bid protest that this board approved earlier this year. I am here on behalf of Scott McGriff. He is out of the office today, and am speaking on his behalf and in connection with the letter that he's already provided you. This goes back to a contract that was reissued after Major, which is the current recipient of the intent to award, successfully protested the first contract of WS 741. And Major was successful in that protest because they were able to raise questions about the validity of Lake Shore's pricing and supporting documents, including the fact that the bids underlying, or the bid tabs underlying, were unbalanced. And after reviewing those concerns, both procurement and the Office of General Counsel made a recommendation to this board that they ultimately agreed with Major's concerns and recommended that the bid protest be upheld. And this board did uphold that protest. Importantly, for this board's consideration, even though Lakeshore's bid contained those irregularities, DWSD did not bar Lakeshore from participating in the subsequent rebid due to that bid protest. Lakeshore was still allowed to go ahead and participate in the rebid and try to reobtain the award it had received previously. And in that subsequent rebid, Major was the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, not Lakeshore, and it was to the tune of about $580,000 in terms of a more competitive bid. And as a result, DWSD issued the intent to recommend the award on October 28th to Major, which Lakeshore is now protesting. So it's a little bit of a back and forth. In that that protest on November 10th, Lakeshore has alleged that Major should have been disqualified from the rebid because it had somehow obtained or allegedly obtained Lakeshore's earlier pricing outside the normal course of business when it filed its July protest, that first protest that this board upheld. Both the Office of General Counsel and Procurement reviewed those allegations carefully. And as detailed in General Counsel McGriff's memo, we did not receive or review any information that Lakeshore provided supporting that allegation that Major had obtained its information out of the normal course. There was no documentation to support that. And critically, the timing is very important because when the bid was first submitted that Major protested, Lakeshore's bid information was out in the public view for quite some time. After this board approved the first bid on July 17th, the file was translated to City of Detroit Procurement the next day, July 18th, including inclusion on the full City Council agenda where the bid information was public. July 22nd, that information was uploaded to the Teeter report. On July 28th, City Council's Public Health and Safety Committee reviewed the information, again, public. And on July 29th, City Council fully approved that contract. It was only the next day, July 30th, that Major submitted its bid protest after the information had been in the public record for almost 2 weeks. And so without evidence to support LGC's allegation that this information had been obtained through some improper means, and considering the fact that all the information was available to the public for a 2-week period, the Office of General Counsel and Procurement are recommending that this board deny Lakeshore's bid protest in this case and move forward with the current intent to award. I know that's a lot of history and context. I'm happy to answer questions.
Yes.
With absolute unfortunately, and the reason I say unfortunately is that these are two highly recognized businesses in the city of Detroit. And just earlier information that we received on the history as it relates to previous bid issues, it's unfortunate that this back and forth, continue to find its way to this commission. And I would hope that there would be some opportunity out there for those two companies to come together and work whatever these issues out. There is a lot of work that comes through this department that individual companies can bid on. And, it's just unfortunate that we have to make these type of decisions based upon facts that are in front of us. And at this point, I make a motion to uphold the department's recommendation and deny the appeal.
Support. At item 10C.
Can I bring you to this item so we can get it over with?
What is it?
Correctly. I heard the city council approve the contract. Is that correct or incorrect? The awarding of the contract to Lakeshore. Is that correct or incorrect?
Yeah, John.
So the original contract that was awarded was approved by City Council, but that was successfully protested by Major when it identified problems in the materials. That was the first version of this contract. The second one that is at issue now that's being protested has not been resubmitted back to council. It is currently under protest.
Okay, if it would not, without objection, I would like to bring this item forward since we're getting this report at this time and tie bar this presentation to that action. So I'd like if you would allow for my motion to move forward.
Yes. Commissioner Garcia. Support? Okay, what I understand is the motion is essentially to amend the agenda and take the item at 10C and take it up right now.
Yes, sir.
Support. Moved, and is there a second?
Support.
Those in favor of amending the agenda say aye. And that's unanimous. All right, Mr. Demers, were you going to say anything else when we got to 10C?
No, Mr. Chair.
All right, discussion. Anyone, Commissioner Kinlock?
I move to uphold the recommendation, uphold the recommendation of the department and deny the appeal.
Right, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
Mr. Chair,
Me? Uh, uh,
Mr. Chair. Sorry, the motion does have to be read, before we go for the vote.
I'm sorry.
Page,
79.
thank you.
Now I'm on 69. Thank you. Thank you. 79. Mr. Chair, upon review of the November 10th, 2025 bid protest from LGC Global regarding the Detroit Water and Sewage Department request for bid RFB number 53156, contract number 6007258, project WS 741A for water systems improvements and review of the original bid submission, information attached to the bid protest, and summary of actions taken by DWSD Legal and DWSD Procurement. The Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department rejects the protest and directs the director to act in accordance with this action.
Support.
Motion, and Commissioner Kinlock is making it. Is there support?
Support.
Any discussion?
I would just like to say what I said previously. Hopefully, these two businesses can work it out because it's unfortunate that we even having to take this action.
All right, I also want to point out that before we vote, we take these bid protests seriously, and we're not just rubber stamping what the administration, I want people to understand that we believe in the process we've set up. And in this case, after some careful review, the recommendation is to reject the protest. But it's not perfunctory. Everyone gets a fair chance to take advantage of the protest procedures that we have. All right, any other discussion? Then on the motion, all those in favor, please say aye. And opposed? All right, that is adopted. Now, let us move to we are on, we have to go back. We are now on item 7, items from commissioners. Do any of the commissioners have any items to be brought forward? Okay, hearing none. Yeah.
One, and I'm not, probably not as germane to our work as it should be, but I would like for the commission to be able to express formally its condolences to Reverend Anthony on the passing of his mother.
Yeah.
96-year-old mother passed, and she passed on her birthday. So I would like for the commission to send condolences to her, to him, pardon me.
We don't need to vote on that. That's something we will do. Is there any unfinished business? There never is.
Another item, Commissioner? Yes, I'd like to take this opportunity to say happy birthday to our Vice Chair, Mary Blackman. She turned 19, and I just wanted to absolutely wish her a happy, wonderful birthday.
Thank you so much.
Next, item 9 is the approval of the consent agenda. It's somewhat brief this month, but it is items 9A through B. Is there a motion? Commissioner Blackman,
Well, the consent agenda as presented.
is there support? Support. Commissioner Davis. The consent agenda, as we always explain, consists of items that were considered in some detail at the committee level. And in the interests of time and efficiency, we consider them all together. However, approval is unanimous, and any commissioner has the right to ask that any item on the consent agenda be considered separately. Do any commissioners want to separate any of the items, any of the two items, to be considered separately? I guess it would have the effect of making them both considered separately. All right, hearing none. Any comment or discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none then, all those in favor, please say aye. And those opposed? And that is adopted unanimously. Now we go to item 10, new business, and the 2025 awardees, Mr. Peckinpah.
Good afternoon once again. It's my pleasure on behalf of the Water and Sewage Department and Director Brown and Deputy Director Smalley to present this year's Edward Dunbar Rich Service Award honorees, who are all present today. And as I go through this, if they could come up and stand so they can be recognized. And then afterwards, if Mr. Chair, if it's your pleasure, if we could take a brief recess to do a photo with them.
Oh, well, first of all, you want to introduce them here and then we'll recess?
We'll do that. Next slide, please.
Right, Mr. Chair, could I suggest maybe if, because the meeting's going to end shortly thereafter, could I suggest we take the photo right after the meeting ends and then instead of.
Do that.
Okay.
Please introduce them here, and then after the meeting's over, we'll go into the hall or maybe gather around the table and take a picture.
That, Mr. Chair, Mr. Director, we'll do that at the end of the meeting then. I do want to say each year, the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, also known as EGLE, in cooperation with the Michigan section of the American Water Works Association, presents the Edward Dunbar Rich Service Award to employees with 25 years of meritorious and faithful service in the waterworks industry in Michigan. We are very proud of the individuals who are being presented with this service award this year. And they are Mr. James Austin. If you would come up. Mr. Otis Butler. Mr. Eric Charles. Melvin Hightower. Mr. Joseph W. Richardson. Honorees, and they are all from our operations group. So we'll take a photo afterwards. In your packet on the next slide, there's background on where the Edward Dunbar Rich Service Award came from. It was from 2014 when Edward Dunbar was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So they are representing DWSD with 25 years of service. And then, Mr. Chair, to your direction, we'll take photos with them after the meeting.
Gentlemen, congratulations. First of all, yes, Sam.
If I may, just real briefly, every aspect of operations continues to improve. Of our 30,000 hydrants, less than 200 are currently out of service, even though the fire department is currently doing their inspections. Within meter ops, they have a 30% increase in work order closure over the same time last year. They're current on service leaks and water main break repairs within the service level agreements. I think services within 2 days and water main breaks within 4 days. And Mr. Charles, who leads a very talented crew of sewer cleaning and sewer maintenance workers, men and women, They cleaned over 8,000 catch basins and over 600 miles of sewer, removing over 6,000 tons of debris from our sewer system. Those were lofty goals and they certainly exceeded them. And it's these men and women that do the work. So thank you very much, gentlemen. Please stay unless you're dying to get back to work.
You know, we talk and we push paper up here, but it's you all who keep the water running. Yeah. All right, hang on. When we get done with our formal agenda, let's get together and take a picture or two. Okay, item 10B, Lifeline H2O update. It says customer service. I don't see Matthew. Oh, okay.
Matt's.
It's an upgrade.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This better? All right. My name is Tamara Smith, and I am the Customer Service and Lifeline H2O Project Manager. Thank you. You may also know me as the person who clicks through the slides at every meeting. I promise I do more than click buttons. Today, I'm here to give you a short update on the Lifeline H2O launch. As you guys were introduced earlier, that the Lifeline H2O is now live and accepting applications. Residents can apply online or by phone through our Lifeline application hotline. The system was designed to be simple, mobile-friendly, and bilingual, so everyone can complete it with ease. On the right side, you'll see a flyer that we have mailed all customers previously enrolled in the Lifeline plan. The flyer explains the new Lifeline H2O program, the $34 monthly bill amount, who can apply, and where to find the application. It also includes a QR code so residents can get to the application quickly. There are two simple ways for residents to apply. First is online. They can go to lifeline.detroitmi.gov or scan the QR code on the screen. On the website, they can fill out the application, upload their documents, and get confirmation right away. The second option is by phone. Residents can call the Lifeline application hotline at 313-435-2055. So that was 313-435-2055. Our staff can help them step by step, which is especially helpful for residents who do not have internet access or who may need extra support. The application has 5 easy steps. The first step is to start the application. Step 2 is to enter the account number and contact information. And step 3 is to add household and income information. This is the step I heard in public comment if we will be checking income. We are partnered with Promise. If they do not have an award letter, they do review all documentation that's submitted for income. These steps were designed to be short, clear, and easy to follow. In the last steps, customers upload their documents, they agree to the terms, and then they submit the application. The system uses AI to quickly review documents and help verify eligibility, which speeds up the process and reduces delays. We also use categorical eligibility. So if a resident already receives certain programs such as MEAP, which is the Michigan Energy Assistance Program, or SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, they can upload proof of that instead of sending income documents. This makes applying faster and easier. After they submit, customers can get updates right on the screen, and they also get updates via text and email. Thank you, Chair and Commissioners. That includes my update, and I'm available for any questions.
Yes.
The letters go out to the folks that were previously in Lifeline.
Tuesday of this week.
And there were 8,000 of those letters that went out on Tuesday.
Received a letter or will receive a letter.
Got confirmation from Promise that the people that have used this process, the QR code, they've already been certified and they're in the program.
They are still reviewing some applications, but I can say as of this morning, 5 have been enrolled.
Process does work and it will speed up.
I actually helped a customer, walked them through today. They had a categorical eligibility document. It took them 4 minutes to complete the application.
Very good.
All right. Commissioners, questions, comments? Amen. Thank you very much. Item 10C, we've already taken care of. So 10D has to do with the collective bargaining agreement. Ms. Jones?
Afternoon, Commissioners. Tiffany Jones, HR Director. DWSD respectively requests the Board of Water Commissioners' approval of the proposed agreement between DWSD and the Association of Professional Construction Inspectors. The tentative agreement language was provided to the board in advance for review. With the board's approval, we will execute the agreement as presented.
Yes, Commissioner Blackman.
What is the normal procedure for approving a contract of this nature? Is it something that comes before the board meeting, or at least for an update as to what the progress is on the contract? Or is it something we just do at the time of the board meeting?
Are we talking about the contract that she's?
Yeah, before us today.
Was presented to us prior, but when was that?
Donald, Board Secretary, do you know when the material was presented? This is not the material that I placed on the desk this morning. The other information for this contract was presented and sent to the board previously. I can find out the date that it was submitted.
Approval at the time that it was sent to us?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Sent to us, or were you still in bargaining?
Has been ratified by the union. It just is presented to the board for approval.
I mean, this is a contract that has been around for 7 years and we didn't get it across the finish line. We have new leadership in HR and they've gotten it across the finish line, and the Teamsters have.
There's Director Brown. That comes up a little later. This one is for APCI. This is for the inspectors. So we had 2 unions to ratify.
Myself, because I'm just excited that we have all of our unions under contract at this particular time, which has never happened in the 12 years that I've been here, where we had contracts open for 7 years and didn't get them across the finish line. So right now they're all.
Commissioner Blackman's concern is we just got it today. And I guess I'd ask, is there a time-sensitive concern about us taking action today?
I think so.
Yeah, no, you absolutely, because once it gets to us, that it's just a yay or nay.
Progress. I simply would hope that in the future they would be handled just a little bit differently.
The concern. And I'm sure.
Our personnel committee should take a look at it. Yes.
Say that. So as far as getting updates throughout the year, as far as status of negotiations, you know, that's like what we do at the commission. We get periodic updates of what's the status and where they are. And that's up to us to set that calendar through our committee and with the executive director, with the director.
Occasion in which we would second guess our bargaining team.
Update.
Sometimes extraordinary occasions come up and we have to have a chance to think about it.
Agreed.
In these cases, there's merit pay involved with each, with our employees. So we're trying, everybody else has gotten their merit pay. They now have a contract. And so we want to get them the merit pay before the holidays.
I'm sure that would be much appreciated.
I think if we have the clerk put a tickler file in and we'll bring it to the board and update, whether we have one or not, we can always say that there's nothing to report, but we should just have a standard way of updating the board on these issues. And I'll create that process with the clerk's office to make sure that it doesn't.
Consistent with my earlier comment, I don't want us ever to give the impression that we simply rubber stamp what's put in front of us. And again, it would have to be an extraordinary circumstance in which we'd second guess. But as I said, from time to time, there are extraordinary circumstances. So, all right, any other comments or questions? Someone please read the resolution on page, or the motion on page 80. Yes.
It's long. Mr. Chair, upon recommendation of Timothy Jones, Interim Director of Human Resources and Organizational Development, the Board of Water Commissioner, I move that the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department approve the collective bargaining agreement for 2025 through 2029 between DWSD and the Association of Professional Construction Inspectors, and authorize the director to execute the collective bargaining agreement, and authorize the director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
Any further discussion?
Appreciation to Ms. Jones for the hard work that she has done since she's been in this position. It has not been an easy task to take over from someone else and to move us to this level of agreement with our unions. And so we want you to know that the questioning we're having is not about your performance or your delivery of a very good contract. Thank you.
Other discussion? Then on the motion, all those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed? And the motion is unanimously adopted. All right, I believe the next item is item E. Who would like to read the motion? Commissioner Forte.
Yes, Mr. Chair. On the recommendation of Markeisha Welch, Procurement Manager, the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department authorizes the Director to approve DWSD Contract 6007-486, DWS 974A with LGC Global, Inc., Detroit Grounds Crew J5 for emergency inspection, rehabilitation, and replacement of sewers throughout the city of Detroit for a total contract not to exceed amount of $7,857,155 and a term of 3 years.
It's been moved and supported. Ms. Welch?
Good afternoon, Board of Water Commissioners. This is a contract that supports our engineering division. It will address our aging sewer infrastructure needs. Under this contract, the vendor will perform routine inspections, rehabilitation by use of advanced technologies such as sewer camera televising, flow monitoring, and comprehensive condition assessments. The work will address our sewer cave-ins and manhole defects to extend the life of our assets. This contract is being recommended for award as a JV, which is a joint venture between Lakeshore LGC and Detroit Grounds Crew. Both do hold several Detroit certified business certifications and has presented a certificate to us as a JV. This contract was advertised for 48 days. We did receive 4 bids, and LGC and Detroit Grounds Crew JV was the lowest responsive bidder. Procurement is recommending to the board for approval at this time.
Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed? That is unanimously adopted.
Can I just say that we appreciate it when Lakeshore partners with some of the smaller contractors on these ventures. And it's the way to help smaller businesses grow. And we appreciate the fact that they are partnering with a smaller minority.
Commissioner Garcia, you don't need my permission to leave, but you are excused. Safe,
Merry Thanksgiving. We have so much to be grateful for.
yes. Safe travels, Jane. She has a plane to catch.
Not a new thing for Lakeshore. They've been doing that for some time.
Okay.
Major, they both are
Lakeshore, that's the only reason I made the comment.
coming up.
Item F, 2025-256. What is your pleasure, commissioners? Commissioner Davis.
Move that the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department authorizes the director to approve DWSD contract 6007496 CS 1991 with Layermark Inc. for IT consulting and technical services for a total contract amount not to exceed $1,804,500 and the term of 2 years. This also authorizes the director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Discussion? Questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed? That is adopted. Item G, 2025-257. Commissioners?
Mr. Chair, I move that the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department authorize the director to approve amendment number 1 for DWSD contract 6006769 with Johnson's Control, Inc. for an as-needed HVAC replacement and repair services by adding $400,000 for a total amended contract amount not to exceed $1 million. No changes to the scope of work, terms, and conditions or the term ending November 30th, 2026. This also authorizes the director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
Commissioner Forte, questions, comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, and that is adopted. All right, we are at item H, 2025-258. Commissioners? Blackman.
That the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department authorizes the director to approve DWSD contract 6007254 with Motorola Solutions, Inc. through State of Michigan Mid-Deal Cooperative Contract 190000000. I hope I got them all. 1544 for replacement radios and accessories for a total contract amount not to exceed $870 million and $1,000, pardon me, that's a lot of money, $870,000 for a term of 4 years. And authorizes the director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
Is there support? It's been moved and supported. Questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, and that is adopted. Item I, 2025-259. Your pleasure, commissioners. Commissioner Davis.
I move that the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department authorizes the director to approve DWSD contract number 6007522 with Decima LLC for sewer system meter maintenance services for a total contract amount not to exceed $602,400 and a term of 2 years. This also authorizes the director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
Support.
It's been supported.
Kenlot, Commissioner Kenlot.
Good afternoon. This is another engineering contract. It is to pilot DWSD sewer system meter maintenance program. This contract will remove, clean, install, perform analysis, maintain sewer meter installations for a course of 2 years. The program is designed to perform a pilot project that will improve our condition assessment techniques and lower the per-line cost for sewer condition assessments for our CIP planning process. Bids were advertised for 30 days. We did receive 3 responses, and Decima was the lowest responsive bidder. Procurement is recommending to the board for approval today.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Welch, I think I skipped you last time. I apologize. Any questions or comments from members of the board? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed? And that is adopted. Item J, 2025-260, Commissioners.
Here,
Commissioner Blackman.
Commissioners, for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department authorizes the Director to approve Amendment 1 for DWSD Contract 6085911 with ACE, or ACE, I'm not sure which, Restoration Services, for as needed MRO materials, repair and operation, and janitorial supplies by adding 1 million, I keep wanting to do that, right? 14, I can't read. $14,000 for total amended contract amount not to exceed $3,914,000. No changes, and I can't get to the other, whatever that other part is, in the scope of work, terms and conditions, or the term ending 12/31/26. This also authorizes the Director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
Is there support?
Support.
Discussion. Ms. Welch.
This is a contract amendment. It is a warehouse replenishment contract. It is a vendor that we use to provide maintenance, repair, janitorial supplies such as industrial equipment, PPE, and other day-to-day things that are not stocked. We just need the amendment for the $1,014,000 to take this contract through term so that there is no interruptions and so that procurement is not forced to do spot buy purchases. So we're extending, we're adding funds to take us through the term, and this contract will go back out for bid midway before it expires in December.
Questions or comments? None. All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed? And that motion is adopted. Item K, 2025-262.
Chair.
Forte.
Upon the recommendation of Markeisha Welch, Procurement Manager, I move that the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department authorizes the Director to approve DWSD Contract 6007-258, WS 741A with Major Contracting Group, Inc. for water system improvements for a total contract amount not to exceed $12,898,000 and a term of 2 years.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Questions or comments? Ms. Welch.
This contract is the water system improvements, one of our several ongoing contracts for water main pipe distribution, replacement, and repairs. Under this contract, approximately 22,000 linear square feet of water main and existing lead service lines will be replaced. This contract was advertised for 33 days. We did receive 6 bids, and Major was the lowest responsive bidder. They are a Detroit headquartered, Detroit-based business, and procurement is recommending to the board today for approval.
All right, questions from the commissioners? All those in favor, please say aye. And those opposed? And that is unanimously adopted. Item L, Commissioner Blackman?
Oh, go ahead.
The Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department authorizes the Director to approve purchase order 3088806 with Bob Maxey Ford, Inc. to provide 2026 white Ford Maverick 11 hybrid pickup trucks. I don't know what the FWD is. FWD, total amount not to exceed $559,227, and authorizes the Director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
And is there support? Support. Ms. Welch?
Proposed purchase that is before you today is to add 19 additional Ford Maverick pickup trucks to the fleet. This consists of decommissioned vehicles that have been taken out of service, as well as new fleet to service the DWSD field maintenance workers. This was a part of the CIP capital approved fleet purchases for fiscal year 26, which was bought before the board and the budget was approved. We did advertise and request quotes for 7 days. We received responses from 3 dealers, and Bob Maxey was the lowest equalized bidder who responded to the quote. Bob Maxey is a Detroit certified business, and procurement is recommending the purchase of these vehicles be awarded to Bob Maxey Ford.
All right, questions?
Comment. I'm glad to see we're doing business with the Ford dealer in the city. I do wonder how often we evaluate the services that we're receiving from some of the services that we are asking these dealerships to do.
That's an outstanding question, Madam Commissioner, because we're paying $11,000 more per vehicle because Bob Maxey gets an equalization point. And so there's really no incentive for them to come down in prices. And so we're going to have to take a look at the policy and see if maybe it should be a percentage. But our policy right now gives them equalization points, which allows them to bid higher, knowing that they'll win with the equalization point. So we're discussing it amongst the staff, and we're going to come back with some recommendations to at least level the playing field so that you have to compete fairly, not just charge us.
Identify. I had some work done recently, and I had to do some investigation as to who could give me the best price. So I certainly appreciate
it. I'm just trying to make some corrections to it so that it balances out. Yes.
We'll file that. No good deed goes unpunished.
Just a point of clarification. Director Brown, you're saying, I get it that we're paying more because they get extra for being, yeah. And that $11,000 that you mentioned, yours per vehicle, more than if another bidder
did bid. That was a Suburban Ford dealership.
the extra points.
because of the equalization.
Yes.
So
We need to look at the policy and say maybe it should be 5% or 3%, but not, you can just come in with a number that is.
whole purpose.
Doesn't allow for competition either, which gets us so we're going to look at it. We're going to be fair, and then we'll come back to the board with a recommendation.
Fixed.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Any opposed? And that is adopted. Next, item M, 2025-264, commissioners.
So go ahead.
Upon the recommendation of Istakar Rahman, Chief Financial Officer, I move that the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department hereby approve the policy titled Finance Division Billing Team Policy titled Deduct and Irrigation Only Meter Policy. The board authorizes the director to take such action as may be necessary to effectuate this policy.
Support.
Been supported. And Mr. Demers.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm happy to answer questions of the board about this policy. I can give just a brief background. This is an amendment to a 2023 policy that this board approved to account for a gap in the way that we do billing for customers who did not have an impact on the sewer system. Now, that policy dealt with customers who had deduct meters. This policy change that is before you now covers a small group of customers, about 100 to 150, who have separate irrigation meters, which are water lines that are intended for irrigation purposes, but do not have an impact on our sewer system, yet are still charged sewer charges. This policy will allow the department to no longer charge those customers with those separate irrigation lines a separate sewer charge. So it is something that the operations team, the billing team, finance are all aligned on as an important change, and we bring to you now for your approval.
A question.
Yes, question. Jonathan.
I'm not sure if the department has been made aware of, or I'm sure that you have, a number of these community farm groups are concerned. Is this addressing some of that, the concerns that have come from that community?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yep, okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right. All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed? And that is adopted. Now, we have another Teamster collective bargaining agreement. And the motion is on page 205. And
Ready? Motion first? Okay,
Chairperson
thank you.
Einhauser.
Okay, Mr. Chair,
Sorry, it's the printouts that are in front of you that you'll be reading, sir.
yep, I have it. Okay, yes, Mr. Chair, upon recommendation of Tiffany Jones, Interim Director of Human Resources Organizational Development and the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department, move that we approve the collective bargaining agreement for 2025 through 2026 between DWSD and the Teamsters State, County, and Municipal Workers Local 214, and authorize the director to execute the collective bargaining agreement and to authorize the director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
moved and supported. Ms. Jones.
Good evening, Tiffany Jones, Interim HR Director. This is the material that was set before you. I apologize for the late notice, but as Director Brown mentioned, this union ratified and agreed on their contract Monday. We were notified Tuesday, and we were very excited to get it to the board today for approval. As Director Brown also mentioned, this contract has been open for 7 years, and in this contract has some very promising benefits that the union members are waiting excitedly for. So we hope to get this approved and executed by the end of the year. So upon your approval, we will execute the contract as presented.
Right, and I have no substantive comments, but I'll repeat the procedural comments that we made earlier in the afternoon. Commissioners, anybody have any comments?
Ms. Jones for the hard work and the result.
Right. All right, then. All those on the motion, all those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed? And that contract is ratified by management. Thank you very much. Next.
It's changing.
A lot of lives.
The director's metrics.
I'll be brief, Mr. Chair. We all used to hear the complaints that citizens came in with hard and soft restorations that we were thousands of work orders behind. Over the wintertime, you can't put in lawns. You can't do cement work to fix sidewalks and curbs. And so we had thousands, and it was a problem for many years. And through the focused leadership and strategic blocking and tackling planning, the operation team has successfully eliminated the long-standing backlog of lawn, concrete, and asphalt restorations. This achievement means that as DWSD heads into the winter months, the department does so without carrying forward unresolved restoration work orders. And you know, if you're a proud homeowner that takes care of your lawn, you certainly don't want it being a mud patch all winter long. So we're happy that that's gotten done. Special recognition goes to Deputy Director Sam Smalley, Chief Operating Officer Erica Mia, and David Ridgway, the manager of the Planning, Investigation, Restoration, and STIGs. For their leadership in driving this effort. Their drive has not only fulfilled a major commitment to our customers, but also laid the groundwork for even greater efficiency in years ahead. So we're glad to get that accomplished. Thank you.
Here.
Yes.
I would just like to add my comment because we had a customer who was extremely disturbed for a long period of time. And when her lawn was restored, she called or she texted us to say how much she appreciated the work. So it pays off for people who especially, you wouldn't get it from me, but from people who are especially attentive to their lawn and the appearance around their home. They are showing great appreciation for what we're doing.
Okay, other comments? Anything else, Mr. Brown?
Thank you. Oh,
Commissioners? Yes, Commissioner Blackman.
I think it's well known when we meet. Would you please try to make the temperature bodies? This is like ice right now. So and I know I speak for others, staff as well. So I don't know what we have to do. Oh, what we have to do, but if we could just make it a little bit warmer in here would be so much appreciated.
We will take care of that.
Other commissioners, comments by other commissioners? I just want to briefly say, I was surprised D'Amico Williams was asking after my well-being. In September, my heart skipped a few beats. And it turned out, I spent a few days in cardiac ICU and discharged without any restrictions. So it was AFib. It's not a heart attack, but the heart
It's reacting, yes.
caused it. And so I'm thinking that it's a one and done, but I appreciate everybody's concern. I am fine. With that, any other items to come before the board? Hearing none, a motion to adjourn is in order. It's been moved. All those in favor, please say aye. All right, we are hereby adjourned.